2. Here you go, Dave.
On tonight's episode of the Saints Happy Hour podcast, we're taking a 3-hour tour to Gilligan's Island. I'm going to officially change my name to JAMEIS 1 of 2. We've got an extra spicy hotline, plus your questions. And can anybody kick a field goal? Thomas, hit the intro.
Hey, Ralph. Ralphie, Andrew, and Dave. All right, I got a little intel. Your Saints Happy Hour podcast? Yeah. It's a joke, all right? And I'll tell you what. You, Ralph, you mispronounce everything, okay? I listen, I go, what the? Does he not know the English language? All right, Ralph. Try to get an English class in there every now and then, okay, pal? Hey, Andrew! Think you're smart, huh? Think you're smart? You're in big trouble, pal. You piece of shit like you for breakfast. And then, of course, there's Dave. Dave, a little obnoxious? Got a little bit of chip on your shoulder, huh? You gotta cut people down all the time? Is that what you gotta do? But know that life is good. Appreciate it. Do what you do. Keep on keeping on. Shooter out.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. I love the shooter open. The more times I see it, it grows.
Yeah, it kills me. It kills me.
Grows. So, everybody, we're live on Twitch. If you aren't, follow us on Twitch and remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcasts. Also become an annual patron, patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour to get the best Saints podcast every day. You get 2 months for free. We need the support, so do it. We had 2 new subs last show, Errol in Uptown NOLA and Kelsey Muller. She's the one that won the Shy Tuttle Matt Ryan socks that Dave did as a giveaway prize a long time ago. And if, like Kelsey, you subbed with Prime this month, you can sub for free again in November. You basically get a free sub every month if you use Amazon Prime. So show us some love because it doesn't cost you anything and it helps us a lot. And remember to do the Twitch clips, the funny clip moment. If you do a great one, there's a clip icon on the left of the full screen icon. Hover over the live screen, open up the editor, do it, name it the appropriate name. And remember, you can do it during the show. And if it's awesome, Thomas might use it. Dave, you mentioned it in the cold open, but the most amazing thing about yesterday's game was, of all the craziness that happened, the craziest thing was the punter won the game for the Saints.
Yeah. Oh, you wanted me to expound on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, he pinned the Washington football team inside the 5 3 times, and when you combine that with an above-average defense like the Saints have, that's a good combination. And the Saints defense did a good job of keeping them down there and winning the field position battle. And when you do that, that's a surefire way to win a football game. So
Gilligan's Island, are the T-shirts? Are they hot off the presses?
I know.
Are they ready?
Somebody asked that, and I started Google image searching Gilligan's Island, and I was like thinking about what we could possibly do. So I don't know. Maybe we'll make something up.
Andrew, you called it the greatest punting performance in Saints history in your grades.
Single game. Yeah.
Single game.
Yeah, I stick by that. Morstead's obviously had some incredible ones. I mean, if you want to throw in his kickoffs, obviously the onside kick in the Super Bowl was pretty special. But
the punt in the NFC Championship game for a single great punt. But
look, part of it's lucky. Part of it's lucky in the sense that, obviously he has 2 that just roll out of bounds inside the 5, and that's kind of a unicorn. But like his leg talent is unquestionable. But to me, the big thing
it's not necessarily luck. He's, these guys put, certain spin on it, and they want they want it to do things when it lands. Just like a lob wedge.
A golfer. Yeah. No, I think the thing. So obviously he was crushing his punts and he was hitting them far. But we've had Thomas Morstead on the show, and he's talked about how they don't really care about average gross yards. It's really the net, so taking away the punt return yards and because you can outkick your coverage and you can hit a 50, 60-yard punt. And if
Like
the
he
guy
did last week against the Giants.
Right. If a guy returns it for 30 yards, it's not really worth much. So his net average, Ralph, and punters, they try to get over 40. Anything over 45 is like super insanely good. His net in that game was 51.3.
That's ridiculous. And
Ridiculous.
Thomas, go ahead. I was just going to say, Thomas, play the soundbite of Sean Payton talk about Gilligan. Sean Payton knew exactly how big he was yesterday.
Listen, he was outstanding. He was outstanding. Just got a game ball. I mean, one of the things we felt like in the first half, not so much the ball. The second half, we played a lot of football on their end of the field, and generally speaking, I talk about that all the time, but what happens is when a mistake is made, it's compounded, and that happened in the second half. But he was outstanding.
Dave, I was yelling at people on Twitter.
Said outstanding 4 times.
He did. We should have had Thomas have like a chime to count it up. But I was yelling at people on Twitter. I was like, that game was filled to the brim with ridiculousness. The punter was so good, he trumped a Hail Mary in a game that went the Saints' way, Dave. The first time since 2006.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I don't know that there's anything more exciting than that moment where like JAMEIS threw it and I was like, oh my God, that has a chance. Like, I don't know that there's anything more exciting in football than the Hail Mary, like that split second where you have a shot at it. Or dread if it's going against the Saints.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. To me, I wasn't. I mean, yeah, was it great? Yes, and it was a well-needed score. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm just not that surprised by it.
What?
I don't know, because JAMEIS has the arm to do it. I mean, first of all, let's talk about. I mean, when the play first happened, I thought like the.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, like Washington. Just stop. Like Washington admitted after the game, they thought that they were going to try one play to set up a field goal, and that's what I thought they were going to do. But then the play happens, and JAMEIS has to scramble a little bit, and he doesn't get rid of the ball, and so it seemed to me like maybe they switched it up to just a Hail Mary. But either way, what? I mean, like, what's that?
What's the big deal?
Yeah,
What's the big deal? They only completed. It's like the second one in Saints history, I think. They got Terrence Copper.
Dave, I've been watching the Saints my entire life, and
I understand that.
It's the second time they have ever done it, ever.
Third time Jimmy Graham got called back
in my lifetime.
Okay, but I mean, Hail Marys happen fairly regularly, don't they?
Not to the
Saints. Only against the Saints. That's the second one they've hit in their history. They have like 6 gone against them. They have 2 in one season by the Falcons.
You know what? Why are you even on this show? Like, why do you live and breathe the same? Like, why do you go to the games? If a Hail Mary doesn't excite you, and you're just like, yeah, Saints scored on a Hail Mary. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. Like, well,
I don't know.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I don't know. I guess
it doesn't get any better. It's like the most exciting play ever.
To be honest with you, I was surprised because I find that usually Peyton kneels that. Peyton doesn't even bother taking a shot, taking the play. I was happy, and I've always hated that about him. But I was happy to see him actually go for it and take a shot. So,
dude, your nonchalance with this play is unbelievable. I mean, if the Saints hit a 67-yard field goal with Lutz, is that going to do anything for you? What's it got to be, Dave? What's it got to be?
You know what does it for me?
Why
is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone. No. First of all, I said in the intro, you're going to call me JAMEIS 1 of 2. Okay?
Hey, the Rum Raider just subscribed. Thank you, Rum Raider.
Thanks, Rum Raider. Because choo choo. I am all aboard the JAMEIS train, and I heard you guys on the post game podcast, and you are not all aboard the post-game train, and you are ready to get rid of him after the season. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But no, you know what play gets me more excited? That dime he threw to Deontay Harris in stride for a 72-yard touchdown. Okay, that's what wets my willy. Or the throw to Kamara that Kamara dropped that he should have had. That was a beautiful drop in the bucket along the sideline. Okay, that's what really gets me going.
Solve your problem
A Hail
with
Mary.
aggression.
A Hail Mary is just that. It's a prayer. You're just tossing it up. There's nothing special about the throw. It's more about what happens on the other end of the throw with the receivers.
You do realize the throw was like 57.
Well,
yards.
I just want to say this,
Yes,
Dave. Sean
Jameis
Payton
is the man. Okay, Jameis is the freaking man.
Shouldn't that mean that the play excites you?
Yes. Here's the thing. Sean Payton, Dave, who is always like, we got to focus on the next week. We can't get too high. We can't get too low. Sean Payton was so excited about the Hail Mary. He had story time with Uncle Sean after the game.
Hold on. Before you play that clip, the only other thing I'll say is, in a Hail Mary, you're just throwing to a spot. On those other plays I mentioned, aforementioned plays, you're hitting a guy in stride, a moving
Is this
target.
guy serious?
Is he serious? He's comparing. He's like thinking like a Hail Mary is like bad audio on this podcast. We see it every week.
It's called a Hail Mary. Like that's literally the name of the play because it's so unlikely to work.
Thomas, play Sean Payton doing story time with Uncle Sean. He was more excited about the Hail Mary than Dave.
Let me give you a story. So none of you were here, maybe a few of you. What's Jennifer Nettles in? What band?
The country band.
No kidding.
Well, I
Right?
recognize the name. I just
Anyway.
wanted to prove that I knew who you were talking
They hadn't made their way yet. We're playing in Atlanta. End of the half, Terrence Copper comes down with the play. Sugarland. So back then, Sugarland was getting just a regular season halftime song. You follow me? And that was in the old Atlanta Stadium. And so just a halftime song. It was just a Sunday game. It wasn't. And years later, she said, "You want to talk about a tough crowd? Now, when you come out after someone completes a Hail Mary, against your team, and then please welcome Sugarland." So I thought about that. If there was any halftime entertainment, that's a tough spot to be in. But a good play, great throw. Part of a Hail Mary is giving ourselves a chance. We did it. Our landmarks were good. Marquez, found it. Those things come up. We practice them, and I think that was pretty significant. Obviously, when you have something like that happen to you, it's pretty. It changes the obviously momentum.
The only thing Sean Payton was missing in that soundbite was a bourbon and a cigarette. He was so relaxed, Dave. He was so excited about it. And you're just like, Hail Mary. Happens all the time. What's the big deal? What's the big deal?
We got to find out if there was halftime entertainment in that
I'm
stadium.
sure there was not. There was
The
definitely
way the
not.
Saints go, they're not going to hit another Hail Mary till 2035.
You know what? With Jameis, it could be a weekly occurrence. You don't even know.
Jesus, man.
You don't even know. Choo choo! Get on board, boys. Get on board. You
Well,
hear that?
that's a
It's
good-
leaving the station.
Well, that's a good point, Dave. I'll let you go. We got the full Jameis yesterday. We got the 4 touchdowns. We got a horrible interception. We got him killing poor Taysom Hill on an overthrow. We got a fumble. It ran the gamut with the full Jameis yesterday. But you're excited about it, apparently.
Yeah.
As we all should be. It was great.
because look, last week I said, look, I wanted Peyton to loosen the leash on Jameis and let him go, and I acknowledge that that's going to come with some risks, some turnovers potentially. On the one throw, the interception to Taysom. First of all, if he hits Taysom, it's a touchdown. I saw Underhill tweeted that out. But Taysom's foot got stepped on, which may have had to do with.
Jameis.
I mean, sorry,
You-
Jameis.
Yeah.
Sorry, Taysom.
But
Jameis'
John Payton explained what happened to Jameis on the interception.
Pete's got to play better.
right,
He
Right.
threw Andres Pete under the bus.
right, okay, and the fumble, that's definitely on Jameis. But it's like, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of Jameis. And that's what you're gonna have these things. But with that, you get the Hail Mary, you get the dime to Deontay, you get the nice drop in the bucket to Kamara, which again wasn't completed, but it should.
I don't think you understand that a Hail Mary is not like a regular occurrence with Jameis.
Yeah.
Like it's never gonna happen again, Dave.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
I mean, but Dave has a point. That's his second miracle pass in 3 weeks. He did it against the Patriots, and he did it.
That's true. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you.
And he did
for
it
backing
against.
me up. So he's completing passes he's not even supposed to complete. But I mean, like seriously, like you guys. I'm gonna call you guys out because you guys are talking. You've already moved on to 2022 season and talking about what the Saints need to do at quarterback, and you're talking about a guy who has
He's on pace for 37 touchdowns.
Let's stop right here. Let's get in the DeLorean and go back to June, and Crazy Dave comes back and he's like, guys, by the bye, the Saints starting quarterback, he's gonna have over 100 QB rating. He's gonna have 12 touchdowns. He's only gonna have 3 interceptions. It's crazy. Guys, would you take that? Sign up right now. Sign this contract right now. You would have fucking signed that shit with blood, with your own blood. Okay? So I don't understand where you people get off giving Jameis shit. Come on, this doesn't make any sense. This is complete bullshit. Jameis is doing what
they're playing for.
Jameis is doing better than I think we thought he could have done. And I'm sorry, but I think that he's getting a bad rap. And like I said, you guys are making me sound like
I don't know that I mean, I wrote a nice column about him Friday.
Had in a post. Okay, let me just break this down for you guys again, okay? And I'm sorry for doing this. I'm sorry that I'm gonna have to make you guys look like fools. But in a post game, the same day, immediately following a game where Jameis Winston won a game for the Saints, you were talking about who the next quarterback of this team was going to be because Jameis wasn't the right guy, okay? The same day, an hour, 30 minutes after you watched that game, 30 minutes after Jameis threw for how many touchdowns?
No, I mean, against New England, maybe we did a little bit.
Okay.
But he wasn't that great against
30
them.
minutes after Jameis ate the W. He ate the W. And you were on the air slandering that man's good name.
Oh, man. Highest touchdown passes per attempt this season. Jameis is 25%
That's
better
an
than
incredible
Patrick.
stat.
Oh,
It's incredible.
Yeah, but we got to get rid of him. We got to get somebody new in here next year. We can't have Jameis. No way.
Well, no, I will make this point, and I think Andrew said it. I think either on the post game show or maybe he said it in one of the chats me and him have every day. Andrew, you said I'm done comparing him to Drew Brees, and I'm not going to compare him good or bad to Drew Brees. Just going to accept and grade Jameis on what he does each game. And he's really good, but like Washington's secondary is hot garbage, and he really should have had like 350 yesterday. Like he missed a bunch of open dudes. Not that it matters because they won. It's great. But like, you know,
this is crazy. You guys act like, I mean, first of all, yes, Drew Brees was amazing. But even Drew Brees had some bad games. And I mean, it's not, you guys act like fucking Drew Brees. Or you guys act like most quarterbacks complete 90% of their passes. I don't know. What is his completion percentage, actually? I don't know.
It's like 60%.
Yeah, he's down to just over 60 because he was
That's still pretty good.
15 to 30.
Not really.
Not in modern standard. Yeah. I don't know. It's only 5 games, though. Small sample size.
But I mean,
he hasn't played at home a lot. He's only played 1 game in the dome, you know, which would help. But yeah, I mean, I hear you, Dave. I think with Winston, it's 5 games, so I am really curious to see. I think, you know, to your point, the thing that Jameis has done, given what he's had to work with, is pretty significant. At least a touchdown total. Like he's not really getting the yards. Like he's still averaging, I think, 170 yards a game. But like, He's throwing a Chris Hogan and Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Well, this is a crazy.
I'm going to agree with your point, Dave, by insulting your rookie son. But
I'll take it.
Yeah,
It became personal with me.
I think Michael Thomas and Traquan Smith are supposed to come back on the other side of this bye. Hopefully, Eric McCoy also. Maybe Teron Armstead. Maybe Nick Van Nett. I don't know how much these guys are going to help, but I think certainly Michael Thomas is going to make a big difference. Certainly having your offensive line back is going to make a difference.
I just wanted to make.
I'm just curious to see how he can play with a loaded deck because he's been throwing a Ty Montgomery and Chris Hogan.
Well, I just want to make this point and maybe Thomas can find it. It was a tweet. The Saints are number 1 in red zone offense efficiency. They've scored They've scored a touchdown on 92% of their red zone possessions, which is ridiculous. And they're number 1 in red zone defense, allowing touchdowns only 35% of the time. That is bananas. The 35% isn't going to stay. And the 92%, that'd be some sort of NFL record. Like if only 13 teams since 2001 have even hit 70% conversion.
I see those stats, man, and I'm like, how the hell is this team not 4-1?
Well, because we pissed away the game last week. That's how.
Yeah.
But Andrew, to your point with wide receiver,
I mean, it's not a red zone. If the team scores from further out than the 20, then it's not a red zone attempt, right? If you're giving up 50-yard touchdowns.
Marquez Callaway, we gave him credit for the Hail Mary. He had the touchdown play, a second touchdown, which he was wide open. It was a great call by Sean Payton. But he had some other catches yesterday too, Andrew. And I saw a couple plays where he was open and Winston missed him. Has he sort of got in the groove and is coming around, or is it a case I mentioned before, Washington's secondary is complete and utter ass?
A little bit of both. Washington is real bad. I mean, just like the release there on, and again, there was a number of plays that could have been had. There's a couple plays to Callaway. They were third and long plays where JAMEIS throws a 50-50 ball where it was actually pretty good placement, and he doesn't make those catches. And so Callaway could have helped him out there. Obviously, JAMEIS missed Taysom on a deep ball. He gets stepped on the interception where that was probably a touchdown. Kamara, ball placement maybe could have been slightly better, but Kamara still needs to come up with that ball. So the drop that Dave mentioned. So it was close to being a 400-yard game passing, seriously. And I think when you consider that Deontay got hurt on the second play and Taysom Hill was out, and they were still torching him like this, I think that speaks volumes to how bad that secondary is.
I mean, in Washington, everybody all off season, like Washington's defense was a darling of the stat nerds, like Mina Kimes, all of them.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Defense going to be good. They can win the NFC. They are dreadful. Dave, I didn't realize this until this afternoon when I was looking at it. We were talking about. I was arguing with people on Twitter about running backs, and I was talking about Kamara has been quiet. He was really good yesterday, but I did not realize, Dave, he was the only running back for the Saints that got any carries at all. Like, that is not sustainable. And I'm thinking the Texans need to let your boyfriend, your former boo, come on home. Like, they need to get Ingram back here.
That is fucking stupid. Wake up.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I would love that. I think Ingram's just fine. I think he's still got plenty to offer. And
I don't know about that.
I mean, that just reeks of like the Roman Harper or Robert Meacham redux.
Get out of here.
But you got it.
He's an NFL quality running back. Okay,
you can't. He had 16 carries for 41 yards against.
Yeah, but he's on the Texans.
3.1.
Hold on. Are we talking Ingram with the stuff that got him suspended?
Yeah, no.
Or without?
That starts with
who's
a P.
blocking?
Yeah,
who's blocking
that's
for
true.
him in Houston? Like, I don't think that's fair to judge him on on his performance with
Is
Houston.
Senio Calamete still in Houston, Ralph?
I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, though. Like they got Andrew. Somebody else besides Kamara's got to get carries. Like you can't give Kamara 30 rushes a game. It's
I
not.
mean,
Well-
what about Ty Montgomery? Can he go back to being?
Well,
a running back?
Taysom Hill getting concussed definitely impacted that because Taysom Hill's usually good for 5 or 6 carries a game.
That's true.
I mean, Taysom Hill is basically your number 2 running back.
It's true.
That's true. But listen, but that concussion for Taysom looked pretty damn bad. So
Yes.
like if Taysom is out, they gotta do something. And my first UDFA adopted son is Zigbo. He fumbled like 1,000 times in training camp. So I don't think
that was
he's
a
ever
quick
seen the field.
a quick draw, Ralph, for you to get the Zigbo fathead on your wall right there.
It was. He's right
Yeah.
here. That's it. You go to familyfathead.com and you can just get any family member overnight.
And you got Blake Gillikin, I see right above.
Yeah.
him, so that's good.
I really wish they hadn't gotten rid of Latavius Murray.
Yeah, I was talking
They're
to
so
Ralph.
lonely right now.
I was talking to Ralph about that today, and I was like, Ralph, if I had told you that, or if the Saints had known that Adebo was going to be this awesome, would they have given up a 3rd-round pick for Bradley Roby? I mean, just knowing what we know now about the needs at running back, the needs at receiver, how defensive tackle's looking, I feel like there's other positions where now maybe they'll need Roby in a big way in several weeks.
Yeah.
Who knows
You
how it
can never
plays
have
out?
Well,
many
here's the
good
thing.
cornerbacks.
Here's the thing, though. The Ravens are getting smashed on Monday Night Football. Latavius Murray has 4 carries for 9 yards. Like, there's a distinct possibility
And that's
that
what he was
they
doing in
cut
the
Latavius
preseason.
Murray because he was washed.
Have the Ravens played any games during the day? Every one of their goddamn games is a primetime game. No, I'm serious. I feel like every night we do, and it's Monday. I feel like this is the 3rd night we've done this podcast, and the Ravens have been playing.
No, it's fair. That's a fair point. But, also with
I didn't see that thing from Balky.
Here's another point, Andrew. The Saints at one point yesterday were missing 3 starters on the offensive line. And look, we said Washington's secondary is booty, but their front is like number 1 picks, Chase Young, guys that they've invested heavily in with extensions. And the offensive line held up pretty damn good considering they were missing 3 guys and they were on the road.
Yeah, incredible. Well, it helped that there were more. It seemed like there were more Saints fans in that stadium than there were Washington fans.
Yeah, a lot of empty seats there too.
Yeah, a lot of people dressed as seats.
Yeah, you could hear the Who Dat chant on the television.
That
feed.
was incredible. What about that, Dave? Did that do anything for you? Did that excite you at all? Just to hear the Who Dat chant in another team
That
stadium?
was cool, but I was a little
goosebumps. They give you goosebumps, or you're just kind of like, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, I was a little disappointed that the Saints returned to Washington and there was no unknown Who Dat sighting.
Oh my God, that was unknown Who Dat.
So
nice.
It wasn't a perfect afternoon.
Thomas, can you get us the photo of the unknown Who Dat? Can you?
Yeah.
Does Thomas even know the unknown Who Dat? Is this
Google
the first time
earn
he's
your
ever even heard of the
earn your salami this week,
Thomas,
Thomas.
Google image the unknown Who Dat and put it on put it on the screen. We gotta.
While Thomas does that, Andrew, I want to talk about the defense a little because the defense was on the field for an inordinate amount of time, and they held it as much as we said Blake Gillikin was the MVP, and that's fair. The defense held that thing together and kept the Saints in it because in the first quarter, the Saints they had 2 turnovers. Your UDFA son, Carl Granderson, I still don't know how the hell he didn't block that punt. He didn't block it. He got it off in the punter penalty. So Washington had the ball 3 times in great field position, only came away with 6 points. Considering how much the Saints were on the field, The defense was outstanding.
there's the
Oh my
unknown who dat.
That's Dave in 10 years.
There he is. There he is. 10? Only 10. Jesus, wow.
No, he's got more hair than Dave.
Did we? Oh, yeah.
He does. He's got the
Did
skull
we ever-
going.
Whatever happened with they figured out who it was. Didn't they like fly him into New Orleans or something?
They flew him into New Orleans and he went to the game and then we got housed by some team and it was like, okay.
Oh,
this-
Okay,
yeah.
go away.
Yeah, go away. This didn't work at all. But yeah.
He got the full Saints
That
experience.
is quite a photo. So no, Ralph, I'm glad you asked. I feel like there's 4 things that were huge in this game for the Saints to find a way to win it. And obviously, we talked about Blake Gillikin. He was huge. Obviously, the Hail Mary was big.
Hail Marys happen all the time, Andrew.
Yeah, but they happen all the time, so maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. And then I thought getting Alvin
Business as
Kamara,
usual.
business as usual. It's going to happen like 7 other times this year. We're going to get a
Only 7, man. Come on.
we're going to get a
telling you
healthy
stuff.
dose of
Oh
it
my
from
God.
Jameis.
I've ever heard.
I mean, I assume that you're just
Telling
gonna when you predict the Seattle game, you're just gonna pick 2 Hail Marys in the game? Is that your star of the day? Is gonna be Jameis with 2 Hail Marys?
Look, I can't even believe that I didn't even bring this up, but like, you're surprised that he would complete a Hail Mary when he's got God throwing that ball and guiding that ball.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thomas,
like,
we need to do.
All right,
We need
let
to
me
do the
hold on,
sound
hold on.
drop. That was
Let
all
me finish
God
my train of
from
thought.
Jameis,
Let me
I
finish my train of thought. So the third thing I was going to say is that incorporating Kamara in the passing game was important, and I thought that it was nice to see the Saints kind of get back to utilizing him in the passing game because Washington's linebackers are bad, and they were there to be had in that game. But the last thing, the fourth thing that we need to talk about is the performance of Marshawn Lattimore. Because, first of all, I'll give him a shout-out because dude just got a huge contract, and the Saints paid him basically like he's the best corner in the league. Certainly one of.
And he played like it.
Yeah, for him to get that check and then break his hand and still go out there and play like that. McLaurin is one of the best receivers in the league, best young receivers. He doesn't get as much credit as he deserves because he plays for Washington. But for him to have, I think he had 4 catches for 40-something yards. I think when Lattimore was covering him, it was 2 catches for 31. 6 defended passes. Since 1999, the most defended passes in a game is 7. He had 6 defended passes.
And
he leads the league in defended passes. The next best guy has 5.
And
he got more than the next best guy in one game.
Here's the thing I want to make a point too, is if Lattimore had just been pretty good yesterday or average or God forbid below average, he would have got roasted because Heineke, you want to talk about locked in on one receiver? Heineke he refused to throw else. Like,
I can't believe it didn't work with that pass rush.
I know.
I mean, I hesitate to call it a pass rush.
That's not true.
He
was throwing to Ricky Bobby. He had a couple of passes to Ricky Bobby.
Ricky steals.
He had 11 targets. McLaurin had 11 targets and 4 catches.
That's ridiculous.
No, that's agree. That's
like
awesome.
you'd think that it got to Heineken on the sideline and been like,
erased
dude,
him. Lattimore
like,
erased him.
Go somewhere else.
I mean, we always talk about what Lattimore does to Mike Evans, but it was that kind of game.
He fought
He was that good. And he would have had a couple picks if it wasn't for the cast. He was freaking awesome.
Dave, I'm still with you about Pete Werner with the number 20. Like, it's weird.
It's
and it's
so freaking obnoxious.
It's weird and it's a bit obnoxious, but he was good. He was also good yesterday. Again.
Dave calling something else obnoxious. That's...
You know what? If I wasn't here, you guys would be farting sunshine and rainbows up each other's ass, and
I
nobody
thought you were
would want to
just telling
listen
me.
to
I thought you were just telling me how critical we were of Jameis.
He does the cold open and then he just takes over the goddamn show. It's just like that.
I have
the
kept
mafia
ever since I got my Jameis stuff off my chest, and I've kept my mouth shut ever since.
Jay Ford wants a
Well, I'm
God's
so
plan
glad that you're
t-shirt.
here,
I
Dave,
want that too.
to keep us in check about how Hail Marys are not that big of a deal.
That's right.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Dave just not that
We've
religious.
got God. We've got God on our on James' side. What
That's
were we
actually
talking about?
that's actually the best point you've made.
Oh, Pete Werner.
Pete Warner.
Werner.
He looked
Yeah,
good.
well, and plus he's like small. He's not a big guy, so
He
he
is
also looks
tiny.
more like he'd be a secondary guy and not
Well,
a
wait, but haven't we talked about this?
That's
We
what she
said
said.
that Ralph, you looked up his numbers, and he's actually pretty big.
He's big.
Maybe
It's
he
really weird.
Maybe he doesn't wear
He's
like
weird.
bulky shoulder pads. Maybe he's
Yeah.
like such a
Yeah,
He wears like
such
the
a badass.
children's Huffy.
yeah, he's
pad-
such a
shoulder
badass. He's like I
pads.
can't be
he's wearing like the baby pads, like the
Yeah, he's wearing
I
like
can't-
kicker pads.
yeah.
yeah,
Looking,
I can't
trying
be
to get
encumbered.
slim.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
I mean, he's
when he wears shoulder pads, he looks. Wait, no, never mind. Anyway, but yeah, what he had a career high. I mean, his career is only 5 games, but he had a career high tackles of like what 11 tackles, 12, 11,
did.
13.
He's gonna keep. He's gonna keep. He might keep Busty Bond on the bench. He
He's
might
rangy.
keep Kwan Alexander on the bench.
Rangy.
He's
But how
rangy.
bendy? But how bendy is he?
He's got to work a little bit on being more bendy, a little bit more bendiness, but rangy. He's got the range. He's super rangy.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good, man. Great instincts.
So the only bad thing about the defense, Andrew, and to be fair, it was their first time they struggled against the run the entire year. Washington kind of road graded them, and Gillikin saved them. He pinned them back, so Washington was afraid to run, even though when they were down 2016 because they were in the shadow of their own goalpost. But the Saints, you have said it in your grades last week and this week especially, defensive tackle, if they're not going to give you any pass rush and they're not going to stop the run, that's a problem.
yeah, I feel like right now at defensive tackle, the Saints have a lot of guys that are just
Terrible.
not up to snuff. Yeah, just guys, you know.
I
and-
hope Onyemata's taken the best HGH he could find.
Well, he better make the suspension worth it. Yeah, but they won't have him back for Seattle. He's going to miss one more game and then he'll be back. So you just got to hope that when he comes back, yeah, he looks like last year or better, because they're going to need every bit of it.
Yeah. Well, I want to remind people before we continue with the show, if you have Amazon Prime, then you subscribe to our channel for free with Twitch Prime. So go ahead and do it, because that's what's better than free money? It's basically you telling Jeff Bezos to stop with the penis rocket and give us his money. If you're listening to the audio version, please go to Twitch TV/Saints Happy Hour. Give us some loves. We appreciate it. Thomas needs all the finest meats and cheeses. That brings me, Dave, to injury.
Are we gonna talk about Gruden or no?
Dude, okay, we're going to talk about... Here's the thing, Gruden, if you're listening to this podcast live or whatever, or later, you probably know, he resigned because he sent out racist emails. Like, he hit the racist grand slam. He insulted every...
Misogyny, homophobia,
Homophobia.
racism, like, yeah.
Racism. He hit them all except
The Holy
except for
Trinity.
maybe transphobia. I didn't see him making he didn't make fun of it or
He
say anything
forgot
bad
about
about
that.
transsexuals. But I will say this, Dave. If he had kept his slander to only Roger Goodell, he might be Bacchus 2022. Like, his slander of Goodell was outstanding.
Yeah, I would have donated to his Kickstarter. Yeah, that would have been fine. That would have been fine. I think everybody there's other than I don't know, is Goodell married? Other than Goodell's wife, I think everybody else is here for a little Goodell.
Well, here's the thing that's crazy though about Gruden, Andrew.
Does he have
is
kids? Maybe his kids wouldn't like it.
His career got burned to the ground because of the investigation into the Redskins and how they treated their cheerleaders. Like, that's how the emails came out, because
Right.
apparently he was emailing with Bruce Allen, who is still with the Redskins or was with the Redskins. And that's how the 10-year-old emails came out. And Gruden is dunzo. Like, it happened with a quickness. Like, and I think even before today,
I gotta be
people
honest,
were like,
I thought he was untouchable. Like, I gotta admit, I'm a little surprised. I mean, I guess, like, if you go to that level, no one is untouchable, obviously, but man, he had ownership stake. Like
Did
that was
he?
part of his contract. Yeah.
Wow.
And he had a 10-year deal, and for $100 million.
He had $70 million left on that contract.
I mean, he could have held the Raiders hostage and said, "No, I'm not quitting."
I'm actually a little bit surprised, Dave, that Jon Gruden knows how to work a computer. Just the way he is. But
And now the Raiders are stuck with what's that GM's name?
Mike Mayock.
Oh my gosh! I mean, the Raiders are just a dumpster fire.
And by the way, this is why, if you were wondering, when the lawsuit against the Catholic Church, the victims of sexual assault and the horribleness of priests in the Catholic Church, this is why the Saints were like, you are not getting those emails from us. You are not going on a fishing expedition. No way, no how. Those stay under lock and key forever. Like, that's why the Saints didn't want those emails getting out. No way, no how. Because I'm not saying that the Saints are like Gruden, but they're sending inappropriate jokes and all kinds of horribleness that they didn't want to get to the light of day.
Oof. Yikes. I don't even want to think about that.
I don't either.
Yeah, no, it could be.
Or maybe it's not as bad as you think. Maybe it's just Sean Payton just slandering Rob Ryan and Greg Williams and just sending horrible memes with Greg Williams'
I did see a fantastic thing on Twitter that said it was something like Urban Meyer is looking through his emails to see what he can leak to the press.
I would say there's like a 20% chance that Urban Meyer
Right.
is going to be doing a press conference and he's going to be saying,
Go Tigers.
because poor Ed Ogeron is going to done so, I would say. Yeah, it's true. Before we get to trivia and the hotline,
I can't wait for the hotline.
Andrew, injury update for the Saints. Yesterday, they lost Taysom. They lost Deontay Harris, but it's not long-term. They lost Pete, maybe. But they're going to be, like, they made it. Like, they're 3-2. They're at the bye. Like, we're at the point where the light at the end of the tunnel, we're there, basically, right? Like, the cavalry shall be arriving soon.
Yes. So all the guys are eligible to come back. So it's just a question of who does and who doesn't. Michael Thomas and Traquan Smith, the information out there is that they're coming back. Eric McCoy looks like he'll be coming back. That's huge. Nick Van Nett is another guy that'll be available.
I forgot he existed, Nick.
Yeah. Quan Alexander, I think, is going to be back. And then, the guys I'm not sure about are Davenport and Teron Armstead. They may need a little bit more time, and Will Lutz. So those are kind of the three where we'll wait and see. But when Will Lutz initially got that surgery, they said it'd be 8 to 12 weeks, and Seattle would be 8 weeks. So this is the front end of when he could come back. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, I mean, they'll certainly get a lot of those guys back, and they may get just about all of them.
Yeah. All right.
I can't wait for Davenport to come back for another half of a game.
You're right.
Yeah, he'll come back.
Feel like, honestly, I feel like they should strategically use that and just save him until the playoffs, when we're down by 10 points in the fourth quarter and we need some defensive stop, and they're like, all right, Davenport, you're finally going back in. Go ahead. And
I'm telling you, Davenport's going to come back against Seattle and he's going to have 2.5 sacks in the first half, but beginning of the third quarter, when he gets his second sack, he'll walk off the field and it'll be like this because his shoulder will have fallen off.
It's uncanny. It is uncanny.
So Thomas, hit us with the trivia. It's trivia time.
Okay, so trivia, just like last week, is sponsored by Budrich.
It's sponsored by Budrich?
It is.
Yep. And Budrich asks you guys, who was the first Saints wide receiver to post 1,000 yards receiving in a season?
This seems too easy for these guys. I don't know it.
Is it Dan? It's
No.
Danny Abramowitz.
So maybe let Dave guess.
Dave,
Oh my God.
get Dave a crack.
It's Danny
what's he say?
Abramowitz.
Yeah, sure, him. I don't know.
Who?
That seems too easy.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys would easily know this.
I say it's got Danny Abramowitz will go, but I think I have a feeling Butteridge is pulling a fast one on us. Who
Henry
is it?
Childs, is that an option? Is that
No,
somebody?
he's later.
Yeah.
Did Childs ever get 1,000 yards, Ralph?
Yeah. He did not. Who is it, Thomas? Do the
Okay,
big
so
reveal.
so what's the final answer?
Danny
Abramowitz.
Abramowitz.
It's Danny Abramowitz in 1968.
No, it's got to be like 69.
69, yeah. There he is.
You guys weren't even
Former
alive.
Saints
back then. I don't
offensive
even know who you were.
coordinator.
Oh yeah, he became Saints offensive
He
coordinator.
was offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
under
he was bad. Yeah,
Oh my God, he was so
he was
terrible.
bad. Danny
It's pronounced
Abramowitz.
Abramovich, by the way.
Abramovich.
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 Danny Abramowitz, Dave, the reason I know him is because until Eric Martin showed up when I was a kid, he had all the Saints receiving
That's
records.
right.
He was the greatest receiver. Like,
He was
people were still talking about him in the
he was a-
90s.
He was
Like,
a top 10 Saints player till the mid to late 90s, probably.
You mean top 5?
Top 5, maybe. Dave, this is his trajectory. He went from high school coach at Jesuit to special teams coach for Ditka to offensive coordinator for Ditka with the Saints.
Did he go to Jesuit?
I don't know, but he was the coach at Jesuit, and Ditka made
I
him the
think that
special
was.
teams coach.
I don't think he was from New Orleans. I think that was like post Saints career.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's a good trivia question, Butteridge. We can't have them. They can't all be like nut busters. You gotta throw a fastball down the middle.
Some
every
layups.
once in a while.
Yeah.
Some layups. Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
that was
that-
that was a layup line for us.
That one was for me, and I still swung and missed.
Oh, Jason Champagne. He said, "Is that true? Did Ditka and Abramowitz meet in Alcoholics Anonymous? That can't be true, Jason. Is that true?" Somebody Google that. I don't have time for that. So
I believe it.
So, and Jason says that's how you got the job in Chicago, but it makes as much sense as hiring a high school coach to be your special teams coordinator. So now we go to the hotline, and the hotline this week is really good, and we got radio voice guy
Again.
making a mea culpa.
I love radio. He's my favorite.
He came back, but Thomas hit the hotline.
Radio voice.
It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour Hotline.
So it. That's it. That's the voicemail. That's it. Play me on the show. Or don't play me on the show. I don't give a
I just got one question. I'm sure you already covered it on the show, but why can't Marshawn Lattimore just pretend that every receiver is Terry McLaurin? You know?
All right, fellas. This game today was a microcosm of the Saints' entire season. Up, down, up, down. It was on crack, LSD, meth, you name it. But we pulled out the win. JAMEIS got to eat that W against the football team, and it was a beautiful thing. Even though it was ugly, it was still beautiful. 3-2 going into the bye. It's exactly where we hoped we would be. And you know what? Things are looking up this week. Hey, what's up, fellas? Champagne here. So this entire frickin' season has been a yo-yo. It's been on crack, meth, LSD, you name it. The Saints have done it. But we're 3-2 going into the bye. JAMEIS gets to eat a big fat W against the football team. And you know what? It's not too bad. We got to see him freed up a little bit today, so that was nice. And we'll take the win, 33-22, just as we all drew it up. Kickers suck, and I will see y'all on the flip side.
Yeah, I was just wondering, when did Marshawn Lattimore try out and make the U.S. men's gymnastics team? Because I've never seen such, choreography and flexibility in the air so much. That guy was all over the place doing 180s, backflips, you name it. He was covering everything, every inch of grass on that field. Had to give credit where it's due. Great job by Marshawn Lattimore and the Saints for getting such a huge win going into the bye week. Who dat?
Man, guys.
Who
Talk
dat?
about who dat? Riverboat Ron, more like Riverboat Sean. That was something.
Wow. Glad we had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter because nothing could have gone wrong there. Lucky to pull out of that mess with a victory, but happy to be leaving that with a W into the bye week. Who dat, baby? Oh, and if that kicker goes missing, the police should go straight to Sean Payton because I'm pretty sure he murdered him.
Woo! Oh, man. My God. I'm exhausted. That game was exhausting. It was terrible. In the first half, just terrible. My stomach felt like a clenched fist for so much of that game. I'm so happy we pulled it out. The injuries piling up. It just didn't seem like it was going to go our way until the end. And we did it. We're where we want to be, 3-2, going into a bye. I'm feeling a little bit better about this team, especially knowing we're going to be full strength pretty soon. Man, I think things are going to be all right. Who dat?
And the Jameis Winston experience is the equivalent of experiencing that P.J. Williams game from 2018 against Minnesota. That's the only way I can explain it. Also, Lattimore, you're f***ing good, dude. And I'll end with this. Fuck you, Dan Snyder, you f***ing fuck.
Hey guys, it's Adam, the radio voice from Maryland once again. I'll call during the bad, I'll call during the good. It was a win, and I'll take a win all day week, all day long, had a few drinks. But this win was kind of like getting laid by a fat, ugly girl. I mean, you got laid, but you really don't want to brag about it, but we'll take it. So a win is a win is a win.
Speak for yourself,
win is a bye
Adam.
week. I'll take it. Love you guys. Every morning, love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
No, that's unacceptable. I will not have him slandering victories and calling victories like having sex with a fat girl. First of all, fat girls can be fun. So that don't be slandering fat women. That is unacceptable. A Saints win is always fantastic. No, Adam. You can keep calling, but that's out of line. I didn't like that at all.
Ralph, this one's for you.
You're gonna shoot your dick off. Wait, okay, so you know who that is? Do we have his contact info? I'm thinking. Oh, we don't have his contact.
Well, yeah, I guess I do.
I think. Okay, this time we need to write the cold open, but we're gonna have Adam read it.
Yeah, I
and
love
then
it.
we'll drop it in. I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah. Maybe leave women out of it.
Maybe.
No, we're gonna write
it at least.
We're gonna write it. We're just gonna give him the script to read.
Adam, you're gonna get the Jon Gruden cancellation if you don't, with that clip out there.
No, but I think I'm loving the sweet, sultry sounds
Yes.
of Adam's.
He needs to
radio
do our
voice.
open for sure.
People are agreeing with me. Chat.
Oh, I agree with you too. No, it's fine.
But so Thomas,
All
hit the take it to the top. I'm sure we got lots of questions tonight.
The Ralph Shuffle, it's back. Morton, come kick for us, man. Great song. Big fan. Come kick for us.
We'll spell your name right.
Yeah.
What next?
Okay, so we had many questions, many good ones, and the first one is... Wickerman asks, the fellow podcaster, where does Bourne fit in to this defense, especially once Quan is back?
He does not. Oh, we lost Ralph. There he goes.
He's
back. Gone.
Yeah, no, Quan doesn't fit. I mean,
Yeah.
Vaughn doesn't fit.
Vaughn's going to get a little special teams action, and that's going to be it.
I would say Vaughn got Wally pipped by Werner.
Yep. What's
next? What's next?
What next?
We are not waiting for Ralph?
He's
Ralph,
back.
Look at Ralph.
He's
He looks
back.
stressed.
He's back.
He's got the Ralph panic face.
Okay, next question.
Ralph's face looks like somebody just discovered his emails.
Ralph, what happened? Maybe tell us first.
Looks like the Ravens just scored, and they're going to be going for 2.
Hello, Ralph? Ralphie?
Ralphie?
Oh, great.
Ralphie!
This is going well.
Look at the panic face.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He's like, oh my god, oh my god. They
so
all of the emails. They found all of the emails. Oh no.
Even without the banana meter, he's still panicking.
Oh well. I guess my life's over. No way my wife's gonna stay with me. I wish we had. Wait, is there any way we can get like a telestrator thing where you can put Ralph's face up on the big screen and we could like draw funny faces on him and stuff?
Holy shit, man! Okay, that's gonna cost you, triple salamis.
Oh Jesus!
There you go. He left again. There you go.
Again. Oh my gosh!
All right, let's read the next question. To hell with Ralph. Let's go.
Okay, the next question is pretty good. I wanted to wait for Ralph for it, but okay. If you want that. Next question from Who Dat. He asks if the full JAMEIS was a craft cocktail, what would the recipe be?
I think I got this. I would say, okay, well, I don't know if this is a craft cocktail, but I would say it's Long Island iced tea because you got everything. You got a little bit of.
I was gonna say, what about a hand grenade?
Hand grenade will mess you up. Yeah, a hand grenade will definitely mess you up. But no, I would say Long Island iced tea because it's a little bit everything. You got the turnovers. That's the whiskey. You've got the interception. That's the tequila. You've got the touchdown. That's I don't know. What's the sweet part in the Long Island iced tea?
The Coca-Cola, right? Is there
Coke or
Coke in
Sprite?
it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Coke, Sprite. I don't know. There's also 4 other kinds of alcohol. I don't even know what just basically you just grab everything and you just throw it all in there. So
kitchen sink, baby.
yeah.
I'm back.
Right. Are you sure?
I'm back. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
Did you hear us making fun of you?
Ralph, are you there? I don't think I can hear you.
No, I didn't hear a word of it. I just saw
you're muted,
slander.
Ralph. I can't hear you. You don't hear either, right there.
Chat.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Ralph. You're muted or something.
Yeah, bullshit.
And your screen is frozen.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, then answer okay, so you're just in time. If what was the question? JAMEIS's performance, if it was a craft cocktail, JAMEIS's performance yesterday, what drink would it be? What craft cocktail?
Irish car bomb.
Oh,
Ooh.
Irish car bomb.
You kind of regret
That's the first thing I think of when I think of JAMEIS is Ireland.
Yeah, right.
No. Yeah, I feel like you need something weird. Like someone was saying you needed crab juice. Is there a drink with crab juice in it?
Oh my god, that sounds horrible.
No, maybe a Bloody Mary. Has like put a crab leg and garnish. Bloody Mary garnish with a crab leg.
Sounds terrible. All right, Thomas.
Actually,
what's next?
Delicious.
Next question. Badrich asks, what's more dangerous for the liver? The Winston experience or the Adebo up and down experience? Sorry, Adebo.
Who's answering this? I would say JAMEIS is way more up and down. I mean, Adebo only had like 1 bad game so far. The rest of them have been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
JAMEIS is
well, I guess unless you want to say the whole vaccination thing was Adebo.
Yeah. Again, he's not allowed to get vaccinated.
The answer is C, the Saints kicking situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I was trying to come up with a pun using Cody or Parkey for the intro,
kicking.
I couldn't.
You know what's amazing? You know what's amazing too? Yesterday was the first time since 1970 that the NFL had 5 missed extra points in a single day.
Hmm.
So it's amazing that
this tweet right there, that sure backfired.
Yeah, age like milk.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that with all the kicking issues yesterday, it didn't bite the Saints in the ass.
I'm gonna say what I said on the post game. If the kicker's not gonna make any kicks, like give me the dude that's an automatic touchback at least. You know, like I'd rather have Rosas just go for it on fourth down unless you want to punt, and go for 2 on extra points, and until Lutz comes back, and just give me a dude that can kick it for a touchback. Because if Parkey's if he's not going to make kicks and he can't do touchbacks, then I'd rather just have Rosas. Seriously.
I mean, it's
Gillikin doesn't do any kickoffs. He doesn't ever mess around with that.
I don't know.
I think he hit kickoffs in that game because Parkey was landing them short.
Mm.
Did
Didn't Gillikin have a couple kickoffs in that game? I'm pretty sure he did.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he did. I'm gonna check that.
Thomas, how many questions we got left?
2 questions left.
All right.
Speaking of field goals and kicking, it looks like the Colts this game's about to come down to a field goal with the Colts.
They were winning 25-9.
Yeah, it's 25-25. But they are driving.
All right, Thomas, hit us with the last 2 questions.
Okay,
25
next question.
25. If it ended like that, would that be scoregami?
I don't know. Ooh.
Good question.
Dave, you love scoregami almost as much as me.
No one loves scoregami more than Connor Payton. He's the one that turned me on to that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he thinks it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. All right. What do we got, Thomas?
Okay, Saints to Death asks, rank these takes 3 players in order of biggest impact of the return. David Onyemata, Michael Thomas, and Will Lutz.
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's tough.
That's a good question.
Onyemata is third for me. It's choosing.
Thomas is number 1. Thomas is number 1.
Okay. For me, I don't know. We just finished talking about the kicker situation. For me, having Will Lutz back is pretty damn important too. So it's like a toss up for 1 and 2 between Michael Thomas and Will Lutz. But for me, Onyemata is last.
I mean, Onyemata is pretty important after they got gashed. But I'm gonna say Michael Thomas, because if Michael Thomas comes back and he's the Michael Thomas that he was before he got injured last year, and he doesn't have to be 2019 Offensive Player of the Year, Michael Thomas, but if he can just be the Michael Thomas that we have been accustomed to, it can transform the Saints not into a Super Bowl team, but they can be a 10, 11 win. Oh my God, I don't want to play them in a playoff team. And to me, that's why Michael Thomas is number 1.
Well, I might need to turn this game off because it's 25-25 and they're too far for a field goal. So it looks like they might be setting up for a Hail Mary. So it seems very boring.
Yeah.
Very, very commonplace.
We all know
not
Hail
that exciting.
Marys. Hail Marys happen as often as my audio crapping out.
I mean, I know they're gonna score. Like everybody scores on a Hail Mary. It's just so commonplace. Yeah, it's easy.
I don't know if I said that they happen often. I just said that it doesn't excite me. I didn't think that it was that impressive. Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
4 seconds left, and the Colts are about to kick a field goal to win this. So we'll see if they can make it.
All right. So Thomas,
what next?
Okay, last question. Last question from Bulky. Which Saints player would you not take financial advice from, and would you not take relationship advice from?
Remember when CD Deuce was in the locker room interviewing all those players, and they asked, like, who is the one player that you wouldn't want your sister to date? And they all said Malcolm Roach.
Yeah.
They've sung it.
I resent that.
The fact that they said Malcolm Roach over Granderson is really disturbing.
It really is. I mean, like,
It really
what's
is.
up? What's
Oh, he missed it. He missed the field goal.
no,
Unbelievable.
you're in front of me. All right, so that means we could get 25-25. This could go to overtime with no score.
It's good to time. So, whew, I don't know.
Blake Gillikin did kick off in that game.
I
All
don't.
right, so former player, financial advice, definitely Kevin Hauser.
That's definitely a win.
Yeah.
Or no, Russell Erkschlaben. He's in prison for Ponzi schemes. So, like, if you
That's right. Yeah,
if you
but he
wanna
threw
go-
a touchdown pass against the Falcons. So
He did though.
I would not take relationship advice from Marshawn Lattimore because I would shoot my dick off. And
That's
that's
true.
not going to be good. That's not going to be good for your relationship.
Yeah. So that wraps up the questions. Thanks everybody for submitting. They were good. Thomas, before we get out of here, we got to do clip of the week. Fire it up and
Clip of the week.
Do the lead in.
Okay, so before I show you the clip of the week, I will remind you how you can clip. There's a clip icon to the left of the full screen icon when you hover the live stream window. Then an editor opens and you can adjust the duration of the clip and give it an appropriate name. And remember, you can do it during the show. So if you see a funny moment like Dave, saying that Hail Marys are pretty common, then you can clip it. So
Or
let's
me
get
having
on to
no audio at
the
all.
clip
I don't
of the
think I
week.
said that.
We have it on tape, Dave. Remember.
No, but I don't think I said it in those words.
Okay, this
you
week
you sound like Jon Gruden.
Check the emails.
This week I have to say I am proud of you guys. I have something to choose from. We had more than 10 clips from last week's show, so thanks guys.
Nice.
And the clip of the week is called New Offensive Strategy, JAMEIS, How's It Hanging, Frog, by Errol in Uptown, New Orleans. You can already probably guess what it's going to be about.
Oh, I like this.
Let's see it.
Over there,
So does Throckmorton's penis always point to the side that teams are going to blitz from?
There you go. That's the clip of the week.
That might be clip of the year, honestly.
I'm going to. By the way, remind me of this.
I still can't believe the Throckmorton sign. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Remind me of this next week, Thomas, when we do picks, because I want to put my picks up there, and I want the pick that I'm picking to be toward the penis, and then I want the pick that I'm not picking to be on the other side. That's how I want to make my weekly picks from now on. I want to use
other podcasts are like, we're going to break down the all 22. We're going to give you expert film analysis. We have our own producer extraordinaire, and Dave is like, no, Thomas, I need the penis X-ray.
The Throckmorton sign. Yeah.
I need the Throckmorton with my picks.
Also-
That's what I want you to work on this week.
Also, other podcasts. We're not talking about penises.
They're not. They're not. We're the gold standard of Saints podcasts that talk about penises.
I think that this episode should be entered when we run for the best podcast Louisiana sports writers.
We should.
This is it, right?
It had everything. It had jokes, seriousness, football analysis, audio problems. It had it all. It was
problems.
Video problems. It was everything that you love about this podcast.
Yeti mic failure. I mean,
this was the Jameis Winston of podcasts. You got the full experience. You got everything. You got the ups, the downs. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them all, and there you have the Saints Happy Hour podcast.
You drink your Long Island iced tea and you love it.
That's right.
Hallucinations and all.
Thomas, hit the music. We'll get out of here. I want to thank, as always, everybody in the chat. Dave, Andrew, Kevin for being on MIA, Thomas for running the show back in Poland in the middle of the night. He is the best executive producer of any podcast anywhere on this earth. He does an amazing job. Guys, thanks for joining us. Support the show. We need it from you. And remember, kids, don't shoot your dick off. And until next week, the bar is closed.